We're back. We're back. Yes,
We're
we
back.
are. Yeah.
We're back in
Hey.
2026. Whoa, we have been gone for a little Christmas, New
Yep.
Year's hiatus. Jason, by and through his lovely wife
We
Crystal,
did.
had a baby,
We did.
the 19th in the Crawford clan. And the little tyke is
He's
evidently pretty
great.
healthy,
Yeah.
and that's good. It's a he. That's a good for Jason. All right, so again, welcome back to another live edition of Live Feed Read. I'm Paul Reed, your host. Shoot, we've been doing this a
Yeah.
number of years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord. And this is Jason Crawford, the Ed McMahon to my Johnny
Yeah.
Carson. And it is 1 o'clock on January the 9th. And
2026.
so we had a different topic today, but Mr. Crawford, in his infinite wisdom, and being up in Tallahassee, said, "Hey, did you hear about the new bill being proposed as it relates to sovereign immunity, which are lawsuits against the government?" So I says, "No, I didn't see your email to me." And
Yeah.
Jason says,
I
"Well,
didn't hit
yeah,
send.
maybe
That's why.
I didn't hit send." I'm like, "Well, then that's probably why I
Yeah.
didn't get it." So then
McFly.
I say, "Okay, well, just about yeah, exactly. About 5 minutes ago, I said, well, hit send." And we're sitting here, and well, I didn't get it. Jason's email went
Oh
to
yeah.
junk. That's what
I'm not
all the
surprised, Paul.
TikToks and all the crap he sends me goes to junk, which is a good thing. But anyway, this is I think the title of this is the plaintiffs, which are the injured parties, attorneys, so to speak,
Hmm.
or just the injured parties, wish. So currently, when you sue the government, there are statutory requirements that the lawyer basically has to follow, and one of them is called we call it a sovereign immunity
Hmm.
letter, and you have to send it to the government and the governmental entity that you plan on bringing a claim against. Hillsborough County Sheriffs, Hillsborough County School Board. If it's a sidewalk case, Hillsborough
Hmm.
County. The list goes on and on. And currently, you have 3 years to present that claim. Evidently, under Jason's or not Jason's, but under the
Okay.
documents Jason sent, trying to reduce that claim to
Hmm.
18 months. I don't know that is a big deal. I'm assuming in some case, it could probably cost someone the ability to sue because after 3 years, currently, if you haven't presented that case, regardless of what the statute of limitations may be, you're
Mm.
out. And interestingly enough, it's currently 3 years to
Hmm.
present the claim, but it's a 2 year statute of limitations from the date of the injury.
Interesting.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
chew on that. So if you haven't filed your claim within 2 years, you're out anyway. But either way, maybe that's why they're trying to change it to 18 months. But so that's number one change. Currently, if you're injured, there's a $200,000 limit, sovereign immunity limit on your damages. And that would be 200 per individual, 300 for everyone injured if it's a group
Mm.
thing. And I'll tell you an example of that. When I was with another firm, we had a case against the prison system when the bus driver rolled the bus down the hill.
Oh, is that what they call the aggregate limit?
Yeah,
Is that group? Oh, okay.
yeah. And so, yes, there were several prisoners in the bus, and back then it was 100,
Oh,
200.
okay.
So all of them had to split up 200,000. And
It doesn't go
that
that
was
far.
kind of
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is what it is. Now, you can get a judgment. We've talked about this, and I'm only going to touch base. You can get a judgment against someone, Hillsborough County Sheriff, School Board, sidewalk, but the legislature has to approve the payment by
Right.
the governmental entity, which doesn't happen
Yeah.
often. But so basically, for all intents and purposes, you got a $200,000 limit per person. Jason sent me a proposal that one of the members of not Congress,
Senate.
but members of the
Hmm.
Florida legislature wants that to change to 300,000 for the
Hmm.
individual injury and 450,000
Yeah.
for the aggregate,
Right.
meaning everybody.
Yeah.
And there was one down here that as high as 600,000 per individual claim and 1.2 million per incident
Hmm.
for aggregate. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, never going to happen. I'm going on record, and Jason's
Yes,
going
I
to
will.
follow this because Jason, why do you
I
believe
don't
it might
know. I
happen?
don't know enough about the history of how these things
Well,
go.
you said the two individuals that are
Yes.
proposing these changes are very
Well, they
powerful.
carry a lot of influence. Yes. So, but
They are going to get shot down like Snoopy sitting on the red by the Red Baron on Charlie Brown's
yeah,
Christmas.
problem. All right.
But
I
we'll
will.
follow through with
Yeah.
that. Now, yeah, interestingly enough, the document says something to the effect of a
Yeah.
25% attorney fee reduction. Somebody doesn't know what they're doing, it's already
Mm.
25%. So you're capped already. So I'm not sure, maybe I'm not sure where that
Sometimes,
came from, but
well,
cap
I've
attorney fee.
noticed this with some of the other bills that they will sometimes say that they're introducing something. Like they did this with our sports bill last year, but it didn't actually introduce it.
Mhm.
That was already in statute, and the piece that they
So
added
maybe they just have to
clarified it.
include
Yeah,
it.
I think if they want to
Yeah, maybe they
adjust
just
it
have to
or
include it.
negotiate over adjusting it, they have to include it in the language ahead of time. And so, right,
Sure, in the bill. I get it, but it's just interesting how they kind of put in their cap
yeah,
attorney's fees to make it
right,
look like, and maybe help support their bill to
yeah,
others, which is, you know as well as I do, have no
yes,
idea
yes,
the sovereign immunity
yeah,
statute says and what it does and what it doesn't do. So, oh yeah, let's
yeah,
cap attorney's fees. It may have one of those members of the Florida legislature jump on board just
right, yeah.
because.
They do that.
But it's interesting. It is already
Yeah, when you bury them
25%.
in enough information,
Uh,
sometimes they stop asking questions about other things and just pass on through. And that, unfortunately, is human error, but it happens.
Yeah, and then what you sent me, revise and clarify the statute of limitations by specifying different deadlines for negligence, contribution, medical malpractice, wrongful death, and certain
Mm-hmm.
sexual battery claims involving minors under
Mm-hmm.
16. Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe again, not real sure what they're talking about because, or
Yeah, I
what
don't
they
know.
plan on doing, because all of those now, I can't speak for contribution, but for negligence, malpractice, and wrongful death, they're already 2 years. What are you going to shorten it to, an hour and a
Yeah,
half
I don't know.
after the
Revise and
incident?
clarify sometimes just means clean. They're going to clean up and reword the language. Like a lot of times, the Senate will say must, and the House will be saying shall. And
Oh,
so,
just so you know, must and
yes,
shall are the same thing in
yes,
the law.
but
But they do sometimes put, like
yes,
may or
or their
will. I don't
preference.
know. When it comes to statute of limitations, it's pretty clear. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure what they're talking about that. And it could just be the sexual battery claims from children
Mm-hmm.
under
Yep.
16. I got to be honest, I'm not sure what that statute limitation is. I know they once you turn 18, I believe you have a certain number of years from that point to go ahead and bring your
Mm-hmm.
claim. And so maybe that's one of the things they're talking about. But negligence, malpractice, wrongful death, they're already 2 years. I mean, how much more can you
Yeah.
shorten it? I mean, I guess you could make it 1 year, but when these dill holes up there do things, they don't really know what they're doing. If you shorten it anymore, say 1 year, then basically lawsuits are almost going to be filed as soon as they walk into the office.
Yeah.
And so the people, more likely than not, if they shorten it to 1 year, are still going to be treating for their injuries. You're not going to know the full nature and extent of what's going on, because sometimes it can take, year and a half before you end up knowing, or going through your physical therapy, going through all the things you need to go through before you take that last step, which is surgery. So 2 years, that's fine, even though that comes a lot quicker than you think in this business. But 4 years, I got to be honest, which a lot of your big law firms, your large, it's in the world law firms, they will wait because they have so
Mm-hmm.
many cases all the way up to that fourth year. Well, cases don't get better with age from a personal injury plaintiff standpoint, and waiting 4 years really does an injustice to the client, because think about it, you waited 4 years, now you're filing a lawsuit. A year later, they're asking you questions at your
Yeah.
deposition. When was the last time you treated for your injury? Oh, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Well, then how
Yeah.
hurt
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
So either way, I'm getting
Well, it's
I
funny because
digress.
as you were talking, I was looking up some of the changes that were highlighted real quick just to spot check them. And literally here
Mhm.
is the contracts
Yeah.
must shall. Like shall has been stricken and replaced with must. I'm like, they quibble over these things. And it like you said, it's the
Well,
same
the thing is, it's the
yes.
same thing. It
But the
is.
Senate staff wants it
Yeah.
one way and the House staff wants it another, and they'll go back and forth.
And you know why that is? Unfortunately, back in the day, and Jason could probably do some research, I want to say somewhere in the tune of 75 or 80% of the Florida legislative body was made up of lawyers.
Mm,
I'll bet now it ain't
maybe
10%.
not. I know a couple. I
You,
know a number of them are,
yeah,
but
I'll bet it's not 10%. So then you got idiots up there fighting over the same thing. If you get a court order and it says you shall do
it
this,
means you
guess what that
must.
means?
That's right.
You must
Yes.
do it.
Legalese.
It's not
It's not even
a
legalese, really.
there's no
No.
it's not. So anyway, that just goes to show you what the heck
Yeah.
these knuckleheads are
Shall
doing
is
up
from the
there.
word should, like should and
Um,
must. This is what must.
yeah,
Yeah.
should or may or
Yeah.
whatever, but shall and must,
Yeah.
those
This
are
one has a
equal.
shall that's switched to a may in a certain circumstance, and then they changed some of the language later. But I think that a
Yeah,
lot of the revised stuff that it's listed here is cleanup of those kinds of cleanup and make it
yeah.
more clear kind of thing.
Oh,
But
I hear
you're
it. You got nothing better to do. That's what I hear.
I'm not sure they're going to get a
Well,
lot
we
done
need
this
to
session.
change.
With the House and the Senate are opposed. They don't agree on a lot of things. I think some of the stuff they don't even agree on what the problem is, much less on how it should be fixed between the two of them. So we might have another
Oh,
session
yeah.
that goes till June. Like,
I don't care. Only thing is we got to
only
pay
thing
for it.
is,
But anyway, so there's your
yeah,
sovereign immunity issue.
yeah,
It's just people you got to understand right now. First thing you got to do is file this sovereign immunity letter. That's the first thing the lawyer has to do. And what people don't understand is that gives the entity 6 months to do nothing.
mm,
I'm paraphrasing. You think they're investigating and all
okay,
that? They're not. So that gives the entity 6 months to literally do nothing because you cannot file suit within that 6 month
mm,
time period. Then what you have to do, which most of the times when you bring a claim
mm-hmm,
against the government, I would say 95% of those claims end up in a lawsuit. They just do. They and so um, that's what takes so
you mean
long in
as
these
far
cases.
as opposed to being settled like the insurance companies often kind of do? Is that what you mean? Like,
Yeah, oh yeah, your car insurance, dog bites if there's homeowners, a lot of those
right.
settle from either a week, a
So you're
year,
saying
or
almost none of
otherwise
these settle.
before suit.
Okay.
But nah, your Hillsborough County Sheriff's, the school board, the sidewalk cases, which is the county, the Heartline,
Do they
they
just
don't
have a
settle.
policy that like
They just
all of them no settle? Just is it
well, here's the thing. If I owe you $1 million. Let's just
okay?
make it easy. If I owe you $1 million and I can pay you 3 years from
Okay.
now,
Yeah.
right? So in year one, I invest $1 million and I get
Okay.
10%. I make 100 grand right off. I've saved 100
Yeah.
grand. Year two, the market's good, whatever they're investing in, whatever. They another 100 grand. Now I've saved
Okay.
200 grand. Third year, I'm going to pay you, but I'm going to pay you at the end of the year. So I've saved another
Okay.
100 grand. So I could have paid you $1 million 3 years ago, or in effect, I can pay you $700,000 now.
Okay. Yeah.
You follow
Yeah.
me or no? I'm going to give you $1 million, but I've invested that million over 3 years,
He's waiting for you.
and made three hundred
Right.
thousand on it. So in effect, I'm only paying you
Interesting.
700,000.
Interesting.
Yeah, stall and delay. Not to mention, if we get into lawsuit, did you get in another crash in those three? Let's talk about car wrecks. Did you get in another crash in
Mm,
those 3 years? Did you injure the same body
mm,
parts as you're claiming here? You got rear-ended twice. Maybe that crash was worse
mm.
than my crash, right? Oh yeah. You had surgery after the second crash. Well, you want to relate it to my crash. You want to rate my crash because we have $1 million policy, and the person that hit you only had a $10,000 policy with the get-go.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can point the finger at you. They can point the finger at us. You, the jury, don't know what the heck's going on, and wash your hands and go home and say thanks. Have a nice day.
Paul, do we ever get anything done? Like, is this what society is? Just like you're destroying my hope. It's 2026. Let me breathe a little, man.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Well, I'm here to tell you that yes, well. Bottom line, though,
people suck.
That's where but that's where a law firm with the three of us, Ryan, Jackie, myself. I've got 30 years. They've got over 10 years each. So it makes a difference. And someone who knows what they're doing. All they do is personal injury. Not tooting our own horn, but when you go to that website and you see family law or criminal law, and then bankruptcy and probate and personal injury, well, you hire that individual at your own peril, because there's a saying, a jack of all trades, master of none. You go to our website, you just see personal injury, medical malpractice, dog bites, car wreck, slip and falls, things of that nature. We don't do criminal law. We don't do family law. We don't do bankruptcy. We don't do probate. We don't do any of that, because I'm a jack of none of that crap. And so people will call, and like I told you before, I'll handle your divorce if you want to lose the house, the kids, and half your money. I'll handle your criminal case if you want to go to prison. Otherwise, you don't want freedom. So
that makes sense.
All right, well, so that's interesting, Jason. Keep an eye on that. I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong.
Yeah, and the bills change over. They get changes, they get referred in and amended too. So it'll be interesting to see what does come out.
We'll update it. And then I had we're not going to get to it today, but I had another one where an individual down in Miami is walking home with his buds, and how you have water meters. Well, the lid was missing. He falls in,
like a manhole cover
himself.
Thing, like a
water meters. Well, there's a manhole cover in the road.
Okay, okay,
The meters are the ones
in
front of your house when the guy comes by.
But it's got the
puts in the number.
Okay,
and tells you how much you owe for water. So we'll put that next week is the case of the missing water meter lid. It is interesting, but I want to tell you, we'll see what happens. Again,
who's responsible for that lid?
It's like, this is a no-brainer, right?
It might be.
Is it?
I don't think so. I'm already trying to guess.
All right. Oh wait! All right, so we're done with the show. Jason, what's your boy's name?
His name is Arkin Rafe. Yes,
Arkin
it means
Rafe.
Son of the Eternal King, and patient as a wise wolf.
Well, who's his father? Because you ain't patient.
God is his father, as he is all of ours. Yes.
Because you ain't patient as a wise wolf. I can tell you that much.
I've come a long way.
All right. Well, God bless Crystal. She's a sweetheart.
She needs it. I've got to get back to the hospital today.
All right, take us out.
She's up there getting checked out.
Yeah. Praise out. Everybody throw your little your group prayer out for Crystal. She's having a little post baby issues, and the Lord can fix it post haste. Obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then with that, it's about 1:20. I've got to go have a echocardiogram because I'm having shoulder surgery on February 25th. Lovely. Looking forward to that. But either way, we will see you live and in Technicolor TV land next week, God willing. And shout out to the Miami Hurricanes for their victory yesterday or last night against Ole Miss. They played for the national championship down in their home stadium, not unlike the Bucks did in the Super Bowl back in 20-something during the COVID year.
Nice.
All right.
Reed and Reed, it's like having a lawyer in the family.